Hey, Ryan, are you okay?
What's going on? Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Thanks for making time to do this. Games We Play, great EP.
Thank you.
Finish it.
Thank you. Thank you. You said, when did I finish it?
Yeah.
I actually finished it. It was finished at the beginning of this year in about January. But as the days got closer to the release, the first song, Games We Play, it had a different beat on it originally. And we had made a beat change like 2 weeks before the project dropped. And like the whole title came about. It was supposed to be 911 at first. Like the name of my project was supposed to be 911, but it was insensitive to 9/11. You know what I'm saying? And it was supposed to drop around that time. So I just, one, being a kid from New York, understanding the impact it had, and two, like my grandmother's like boyfriend, he was a firefighter. He passed in 9/11 as well. So it was just like, let's change it up a little bit and create a different theme that still goes with what my message is.
Right. 5 tracks on the EP. Do you remember how many you recorded or started writing for it?
At first it wasn't like, I wasn't like planning on like these are the songs I'm gonna make for a project. It was just, let me just get all of the stories that I have inside of me that I haven't told yet, and let's just make as many songs as we can. And then from there, let's piece parts of my story together that kind of makes sense and that the world can understand me more, you know? But we had about a good 33 songs to choose from for the EP.
33 songs.
Yeah, 33 songs.
Wow. I mean, most artists I talk to, when they have a new record in the works, and let's say there's 12 songs on it, they go, yeah, 15 or 16, and 1 or 2 songs are going to be Japanese B-sides or bonus tracks. And that's it. 33 songs. So you must be excited and chomping at the bit to make the full length.
Yeah. For me, I actually have more than 33 songs, like unreleased. I have about maybe a good 97, like 99 unreleased songs. And the 30 that we had was just for the EP. Like, what are we going to use for the EP? And now we've spread it up to maybe you can get a part 2 of the EP, the second chapter, or you can put some of those songs on the album. So they're just great music that's just sitting there waiting to come out and follow up the EP.
Yeah, Chris Brown, who I know was instrumental in your creativity and all that. I know that some of the songs that he wrote at some point came out on other artists' projects, and that kind of solidified him as being a co-writer, an in-demand co-writer. Is that something that you see yourself doing or wanting to do?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to not just help, but also want to add my flavor and just have parts of me in different parts of the world, you know, because everybody has a different fan base.
Yeah.
And I feel like when artists come together and they collab, that's when you get like the perfect song, because you get so many perspectives, you get so many styles, you get so many different listeners. That's something I plan on doing. I feel like creating should be a collaborative thing, you know, like putting dope minds together, dope energy, and creating one big masterpiece.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I dig about you besides your music is the story. Not only the great journey of your mother and her musical journey, but how your networking skills played a big part, not just the talent, but your networking is how you met Christian Combs. And of course, I mentioned Chris Brown and all that before. When did you realize that it kind of paid to not just be talented, but to be able to pitch things and talk to strangers?
I kind of knew that before I even met Christian and Chris Brown or anybody. I kind of knew that just being a kid in New York City, you know, it was just one year, I forgot what year it was. On the new year, I just set a resolution for myself that every day I was going to meet 3 new strangers. And when I do that, I'm an inner city kid, so I took the subway a lot, the A train, the 3 train, the D train. So I would notice that when you give up your seat on a train, it changes someone's day. When you say hello to someone, it changes someone's day. You never know what's going on in that person's life. You never know what they're going through. And that one thing that you do could change their whole life. So that was to me, it wasn't networking. It was more like, how can I make the world a better place? How can I make someone's day better, you know? And that's kind of where I got it from. And that's what allowed it to feel natural to just go up to Christian and just say, yo, what's going on? What's up, bro? Like, what are you doing? You know, it was just second nature to me because that's what I was doing every day on a regular basis.
Yeah. Was Puffy one of the first artists that you were interested in as a fan, or you just knew his name and that happened to be the circumstances?
Definitely as a fan, you know, because my mom, she listened to Mary, you know, she listened to all the Uptown records, Bad Boy records. That's all that my mom would play in the car, you know, and I knew how much of a legend he was. And I knew that he was kind of like one of the hip hop royalties. You know, we don't have kings of England and stuff. So he's kind of like, he's like royalty to the United States. And I knew that just being in his presence and being able to just be at some angle or some 3-degree radius of him, that it would rub off on me and that I would get the right tools that I need to maneuver through the industry.
And your mom, as the bio goes, ultimately had to turn down a deal with Quincy Jones or some kind of working with Quincy Jones. Have you been able to get your music to Quincy Jones's camp to go, see, second generation, we're good?
No, I actually haven't gotten that chance. Hopefully one day that will happen. But yeah, shout out to my mom, man. Like, she's the one that motivated me and even allowed me to chase my dream. So without her, the story could be very different without her.
Well, if this is a bad question, you can just give me the X or go, we don't talk about that. But your last name, Witherspoon, or am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew of your last name being a big boxing fan growing up, being a big NBA fan growing up, Clarence Witherspoon, all that kind of stuff. Any relation to other Witherspoons out there?
Tim, I know that Tim, that's a boxer, right? Tim Witherspoon?
Yeah.
My dad's grandfather told me that he was related. Like, I think they're like cousins on the generation side. So that's all that I know of right now for the Witherspoons. That's just Tim Witherspoon. That's the only one that I know of.
Clarence Witherspoon was a great player on the Sixers, great college career and all that. But where did the decision come to just be Ryan and not Ryan Witherspoon or, you know, Ryan the Great or anything like that?
Because it felt true to me. You know, like, I started rapping when I was 16. I was doing like battle rap and freestyles, and I was just trying to figure out like I used my nickname for a while, which was Ra, R-A-H, and I tried like, I don't know, just different things. It just didn't feel true to me, you know? Right. And I feel like the second I made the decision to just be Ryan, that was the second I decided to just be me, you know? And I feel like that's why my music reflected that. Like, as soon as I said, yo, I'm just going by Ryan, I started singing, which was my true love. I didn't do the freestyle rap. It just became what was true to me. And that's why Ryan is my name. That's what I'm going with.
Also a good decision because Rod Digga probably would have come after you for copying the name. But you as a singer, and you mentioned having over 90 songs, you know, ready in some kind of form. When you're writing, do you just hear it in your head, or are you sitting at a keyboard? What's your creative process usually like?
My creative process usually is in the car. That's how it started. It's funny because my love for music started in the car with like my mom's playlist and her taking me to this Usher show. But yeah, it starts. I'm in the car. Usually, my best friend or who's my A&R now, one of my A&Rs, my friend Tyreek, he usually just plays a beat, or I'll find a beat. I hear it, and I just mumble, like just hum the whole song. Like, the melody just comes to me. And from the melody, how I feel from the melody determines what the context of the song is. So I never really just sit there and put a pen and just write it. No, it's just whatever I feel, it just comes out. And then I piece it together in my head of how it should go.
That's super interesting to me. I think you'll also find top-level songwriters who treat it like a 9-to-5 job, and they sit down and they go, doesn't matter if it sucks, I'm going to write 2 songs today. And then they get all the sucky songs out of them to have the one hit. But in your case, you mentioned driving. Growing up, inner city kid, most people I knew who grew up in Brooklyn and Queens don't have a driver's license. When did you start driving?
I was just natural, you know, like I used to spend my summers in the South with my dad's family. So everybody's driving down there at like 14 years old. And my mom, she gave me freedom to grow up and just to let me explore. So I had my permit, and I would just drive around the neighborhood and drive to Jersey sometimes and just explore. And that's kind of how I learned to drive. I started at like 16.
Does it matter what kind of car you're driving in to be able to write or sing or mumble along to the music?
Not at all. You know, at first I used to feel like, oh, when I'm in a Lambo, the song is gonna be different. Or when I'm in a Rolls Royce Wraith, like I feel like the songs I write will be different. Now I'm noticing that it doesn't really matter because it's all in your head. You know, it's just a feeling. Of course, it may make me feel better. I'm not gonna say my days of being in nice cars with my friends and just being in LA, you definitely feel more motivated.
Yeah.
You know, but when I'm back home and I'm in New York and I'm going down places that I'm familiar with and that I remember, it brings me back to that feeling of when I first started making music. And that's the most vulnerable music that I've made is back home.
I can imagine. And the red Yankees cap, that leads me to three decisions or three observations. Either a big Fred Durst fan, which I don't think is the case, big Yankees fan, or it was the first thing he grabbed off the rack. Which one is it?
No. Definitely a Yankee fan for sure. When I was younger, my uncle is Willie Randolph. I don't know if you're familiar with Willie Randolph. Yeah, from Brownsville, New York. Yeah, my grandfather, his name is Louis Rodriguez, but they call him Clark Kent. Him and Willie Randolph were best friends. And when I was younger, like 6, 7 years old, every Yankee game, when my grandfather was in town, I would spend the day before the games in the dugout and after the games in the family room. So Yankees runs deep in my blood. Yeah.
Wow. Usually they say, as a New Yorker, it goes Yankees, Knicks, Giants. I think it's Mets, Jets, Knicks. Wait. What's your team combination right there if you have one?
My team combination, Yankees, for sure. Football, I had to let go of the Giants because they let go of Odell, and that's my guy. So as soon as they let go of Odell, I was like, I'm cool. I don't have a football team right now. So right now, I'm just Yankees, and I'm rocking with the Nets. You know, we got Kyrie, KD now, so I'm going back with the home team.
Good to hear. Your Southern roots don't take over on that. And like growing up, loving professional wrestling, I grew to love the Braves because they were going to be on after wrestling or before wrestling every time. You never know when the Braves are going to steal a fan away from the Yankees.
Nah, that's not happening to me. I'm Yankee diehard, man. Jeter is like one of my, like life coaches. Like I look at him and like that's how you should carry yourself as a professional and as a competitor.
And now owns a baseball team. So,
so
he did pretty well there. And away from music, what is life like for you? Are you a big movie or TV guy?
Big movie guy. More of a gamer, and I like to just be active. Yeah, I like to play Xbox, and I like to be active. Like I run or ride my bike every day, play basketball. So it's kind of like I'm still the same person I always was, but now I'm diving deeper into film and movies. Yeah.
Is it because you eventually want to be able to direct your own videos too?
Yeah, all the videos that I've shot so far, I've come up with treatments. Like I made the treatments. Like I know exactly what I want the videos to look like. Like the second a song is recorded, I know what the video should look like.
Wow. So what I'm getting here is we got a guy who drives, hears the song and or helms the song in the car, then goes, and this is what the video is going to be. And he has no problem writing music, no problem talking to people or networking, and he has healthy interests outside of music. Ryan, what's the problem here? Most artists, you get writer's block, and you get that they don't really want to make videos. I'm not getting any of that from you.
No, I fell in love with, for me, I fell in love with the industry. I fell in love with artistry. I fell in love with the whole package. It's like you can't take champagne without the pain. You have to fully be in it, You know what I'm saying? You have to fully be in it, and I want every single part of the music lifestyle, like everything, the creativeness, the paparazzi, everything that comes with it. You can't expect it to not come. You can't expect yourself to not want it. If you want one thing, it comes with all of it. So
Totally
Yeah.
student of the game. Well, 2 quick questions if you don't mind, and then you're free. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though you're more of a gamer than a TV film guy, any TV recommendations you can pass on? Because let's face it, you've been inside most of this year like most people.
For me, I would recommend there's like a couple shows. So Outer Banks, it's a
Okay.
new Netflix. It's a Netflix series. Outer Banks was definitely dope. It's new. Marvel and DC Comics.
Mhm.
They have like great Japanese artists and illustrators that they're running their comics through right now. And another show, Haunting of Hill House was a good series on Netflix. So you should definitely check those out for sure.
What about the show The Boys on Amazon? If you're into that stuff, that seems like a shoe-in for you.
The Boys? Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I'm gonna check that out.
Dude,
that out.
Totally up
It's
your
fire?
alley, like superheroes in darkness. It's pretty good there.
For real?
Yeah. It's making fun of, I don't want to say making fun of, it's kind of mocking the corporate structure around superheroes. So there are these for hire kind of superheroes. Good cast. I think you're going to like that one.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. That's dope.
Cool. On the closer, Ryan, any last words for the kids?
For the kids is, stay motivated, keep the dream alive, and never be afraid to be expressive. Never be afraid to be yourself and know that anything is possible. Like coming from a kid who's from Cypress Projects of Brooklyn, New York, anything is possible. As long as you put your mind to it and when people tell you this one thing, don't put all your eggs in one basket, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them at all. Put one egg in one basket and treat it like it's your life, because that's what you're going to get. What you put in is what you're going to get. So, yeah, just keep the dream alive and don't be afraid to love and be happy, because that's what it's about.
Cool. You gave me so much to work with, but congratulations on everything you have coming up. Really great to see you thriving and all that.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. That Pac-Man, that's dope. That's hard.
Thank you.
That's hard.
I just got that off of eBay, and it's got like 2,100 games on it. You should get the next one.
That's fire. That's fire. I'm all into that. That era of stuff. Like I have this Mega Man. He's pretty dope. A collab, and then I have like a super giant Astro Boy.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Straight from Japan, actually. That Astro Boy back there, he's pretty big.
Yeah, Astro Boy is the real deal. So I think anybody who wants to impress you with stuff should just start bringing you comics and action figures as the gift to get you to talk to them. So we've
Definitely
that one. Next time I see you in the room, I'll bring a figure and we'll keep the streak going.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Paltrocast.